And welcome. Today we have a special episode for you. Episode number 60. Can you believe it, Alwan? 60 episodes running on a weekly, now bi-weekly cadence. That means we've been doing this for over a year. And a lot of you in the comments here have been with us this entire time. So thank you for sticking it out. Alwa, how are you? Nice to see you.
Good. I'm doing well. Beautiful sunshine. 60 episode. We're like a Joe Rogan level at this point. Waiting for the call of Spotify.
Anytime now. Yeah, Alwa might pivot away from scooters. We'll never know. But in the comments, I see we've got a bunch of familiar faces. Nice to see you, everyone. Thanks for tuning in on a Friday. And today is a special one because we just dropped our app update video. So we've got that to cover and discuss, and maybe Alwa can shed a bit of light on what's actually around the corner for the app and what we're working on, which is some pretty cool stuff. And I also see there's a bunch of people speculating about a supposed scooter release that may be or may not be happening in the near future. So I think we've got a lot of exciting updates to discuss, but perhaps not reveal fully today. But let's kick it off with a quick announcement in case anybody in the comments here is looking for a new scooter. We are running our August app sale right now, and it's going to go on until the end of this weekend. So we have some great savings available for both Canada and the US, like 600 off US on the new Phantom V4X. So definitely take a look at our websites if you are looking for a scooter. If you are looking to get a scooter in person, check out your local Best Buy as another alternative. Sweet. Okay. The next big announcement we had this week was that the Phantom V4X is finally available in both the US and Canada. It was just Canada before, it was on pre-order in the US, and I believe it still is, but it's now actually available for pre-order, unlike before. So Alwa, can you give us a quick rundown of what our customers can expect to see as the differences in the V4X versus the V4?
Yes. So a couple exciting new updates. The first one is finally our V8 throttle are coming to the Phantom. So the throttle that we've now been using on all the rest of the lineup is available on the V4X. And again, it's retro compatible with everyone that has a V3 kit. So if you bought it before, you can get those throttles and it's plug and play. So that's lovely. Everybody loves those throttle, and it was much requested as they feel more premium than the one that we had before. So super exciting. And the big one, by far, the biggest request that we got since the first Phantom is tubeless tires coming to the Phantom. And not only that, self-healing tubeless tire, which again, close the loop on our whole lineup, having the latest throttle and self-healing tires. We always had challenge with the flat tire of the Phantom. So this is going to fix it once and for all. This upgrade is not retro compatible, as we need a different kind of motor, one that the motor cannot split open to change the inner tube that is now absent in this version. So pretty sweet. And we also changed the casing of the motor to try to dissipate the heat a little bit better. It was never an issue in the Phantom, but it should still help. And it looks cool as well. It just looks better overall. Those are the two big changes on it. Do we have something else that I'm forgetting?
Yeah, I think we have the new motor casings that we're explaining as well for better heat dissipation and strength, right? And from the V4 upgrades, there's also the revamped internal steering that we've now had for quite a while.
Right. Yes. So overall, a little updates again on the Phantom. Nothing revolutionary, but it's nice that we are finally being able to bring this the first model we launched up to speed with the latest innovation that we have in our portfolio. So pretty excited about this.
Yeah, and I was actually just recently thinking about the Phantom, which is a scooter we've been selling since 2021. Believe it or not, March 2021 is when we opened up the pre-orders for the Phantom. And do you remember what happened when we first delivered that container or those two containers?
Well, I have a lot of memories, but I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to.
The packaging specifically.
Oh yeah. We had. That's when we learned that heavier scooter need better packaging. And it's so interesting
Yeah.
because the Phantom in 2021, right? It was we forget how much it changed so quickly, right? Like when we launched that scooter, everybody was losing their mind just because of the bigger display, right? Which now it's simple and the display is like upgraded so much. But yeah, packaging was one of the thing we figured out the hard way. Yeah.
It's a really good point you make though about just how archaic it looks today, the V1, and it's only been 3 years, right, that we've been on the market with this product for, and yet back then it was a revolution. Today it looks like a vintage scooter almost, and the pace at which components are changing, especially the displays, anything that I think has to do with more the riding experience more than actual like propulsion. The batteries haven't changed that much, right? Like the motors haven't changed that much. In our case, the controller changes a lot, and I think that's sort of when we made the leap to the Phantom V3, right? Because the V1, V2 was just some minor reinforcements and improvements, and in the V3, I remember we recorded that video in the warehouse, just you and me, like 15 minutes rambling about the controller, and I think that was the beginning of the revolution. So how talk to me about why did you decide to build a controller? Obviously, that's way more complicated than just taking controllers off the shelf. And what was that experience like putting it together?
That journey with the controller started with before the Phantom with the Ludo, right? The Ludo controller that I have behind me. And this one was, we took what like from electric skateboard and tried to put it in our scooters. And it started by doing our own controller on the original Apollo Pro, which was a OEM version. And that's how this whole journey started. And we realized it was super complicated, right? Because I had to like manually wire and configure the controller, which was at least 2 hours.
And that was on the old Pro, I think you were doing that, right?
The old Pro. And then we did it on
Yeah.
the Phantom that we sent to ESG, smash all the acceleration record back then. That was nice. But then we needed something more scalable, something that could be installed at the factory, and there was no like all this need to be like worked on. But
Yeah,
basically,
just for context, guys, what I was saying is that for every scooter we sold, he had to open up a stock Phantom, right? Pull out the controller, and then put in a new controller,
Cut all the
resolder
wires.
all the wires,
Yeah, cut all the wires, resolder, and the most
everything.
complicated, configure the controller. So from A to Z, everything, mapping the throttle, a mess. And you didn't have a display at the end. So then we went to the best supplier of controller that there is and asked them to develop something custom for us that was more plug and play. And that's how this whole thing started. And it was also with its challenges, right? The first one we had burnt, went up in flames, the first prototype because of because of but and that's how it started. And then we decided to add new displays and more lights and IoT. So that's how the Mac 2 was born. And at the same time, we took that occasion to improve the performance. And so far, this controller has been an absolute success. To this day, it is by far the smoothest controller on the market. When me and Match goes to sometime convention and we have the chance to try other very powerful scooter, the Wolf Warrior, like the 72 volt, the big one, or even the InMotion. It's always it's super powerful. It's scary powerful, even for us that always ride scooters, and you don't have any control over it, right? Our scooters, even in the highest configuration, you can be in Ludo mode, and you can go to 3 kilometers an hour and driving with one hand, and it's fine. We don't recommend, but it's manageable, right? And I would put my girlfriend in Ludo mode, and I know it's totally acceptable. So I think to this day we have the best throttle mapping and acceleration curve out of any scooter.
It's fun you mentioned that because I remember with the V1, we took it on the bike lane here on the canal in Montreal. And I just remember it was impossible to ride behind the bicycle because the second you touch the throttle, it just goes full speed, or you don't touch it at all and it has no acceleration. And then when we put the V3 controller in it, so the Mach 1 controller, I remember a bunch of customers called us and they were like, hey, can I get a second one for my wife? She's now stealing my Phantom from me because it's so easy and intuitive to use, And that was, I think for me, that was like the mind-blowing moment when you have a 52 volt or, back then, I guess we also had the 60 volt with the kind of DIY controller version. And people were feeling so confident on it. People with no experience, right, riding that scooter for the first time, just taming the beast like that. It was phenomenal.
It's crazy that with the same hardware, same battery, same motor, and everything, you could have such a different experience with the scooter.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's the other light bulb went off for us at that moment, because we realized we could go down two paths in terms of R&D, right? We could either go down this path of just taking components off the shelves and sticking them into a frame that is maybe unique, maybe not, and then trying to compete on really specs. And that's what you're seeing, Roadrunner do. That's what you're seeing InMotion do. They're essentially just buying off the shelf components in many cases, and offering them at really competitive prices. Like, let's be fair, they do it for good value. But we sort of focused on this approach of, how do we build the most integrated scooter, right? So not necessarily the biggest battery or the biggest motor, because there's no skill in that, but really, how do you have just enough speed and just enough range, but more importantly, the right amount of control over the entire riding experience. Yeah. And I think that's where the app comes into the picture too, right?
Yes, absolutely. That was also the beginning of our journey with the software, which, by the way, everyone, we finally reached above 5 stars on all our platforms this week. So massive achievement. We started from very far. So sorry for all the trouble, everyone, but we're now in a fantastic place. And we're going to be talking a bit later about what's coming to the app. That's pretty exciting as well. And it's going to complement the controller really well, I believe.
Yeah, for sure. So if anyone here in the comments, went out on the limb and left us a 5-star review just to help us get there, thank you so much. I think the app can now hold its own officially. If you haven't seen the latest batch of updates, and this is our wonderful transition to the app, head on over to our YouTube channel. Elwha just dropped a video, I think it was yesterday, with a quick rundown of all the new features. But Elwha, would you do us a favor and just recap what's new in the app in 30 seconds or less?
Yes, the big things, it's something we've been talking about before, and it's complicated because when we announce it, it's in beta, but now everything is live. So we have the new sign-in, sign-up flow. So just joining the app is a lot more pleasant. Adding a new scooter is totally different now as well. We are now able to push notification to all of you, our customers. So if there is something wrong, we can let you know directly in the app. So no need to reach out to CX. This is a big deal for us internally, but also for you to keep you updated. And the biggest one, I think, there's a new dashboard available where you can visualize the amount of power. So you see the amount of watt being pushed, but also the amount of regen. So what is going back in the battery, also in watts. And you also now finally have a landscape view. So you can turn your phone on the quad lock. So you still see the original display. For some reason, a lot of people were requesting this. And you have a more detailed view of the dashboard. So it's fantastic. And everything is there too. You have the odometer right there, so you don't need to go in the setting to see how much mileage you have on your scooter. You can change the gear by simply pressing on it, and all the quick action has been revised. So instead of having to click on the 3 dot and then selecting your actions are right there. So way better. And also a bunch of bugs. Awesome. We fixed over like 60 bugs, so that's something that it should not crash anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's maybe like you didn't really say how much work went into bug fixing, but for the last little while working on these new features, the team has also just been powering through all kinds of issues, right? So the app is now not just better, but also more stable. So well done. Cool. I mean, we're halfway through the show. I feel like this is a good moment to switch to answering some questions. Elwha, and looks like there's a nice little backlog here.
Yes.
Thanks, Matt. All right, so let's see. No one has made a full detailed ride with the Apollo Go on a 15 to 30 full minutes. I'll be the very first one to do so. Almost done editing my very first ride. Will be aired by tonight. Oh, cool. Zoologist, I guess. Can you please send us the link to your YouTube or wherever you end up posting this? We would love to see it and possibly share it with some other people as well. D-Batch, having a blast riding my Apollo City Pro 2024. Honestly, feel like a kid again. I used to go back and forth to my office. I can retire the car for most of the summer. Wow, this is the quote we should be using at checkout, just in case anyone's wondering. That's exactly what we're here for. Go as a miracle. Went shopping with it. Took it inside a movie theater with me yesterday. Lovely. Nice to see so much good engagement. Okay, Elwha. how do you respond to this one? From D-Batch. I also rode the F2 Pro. That's the Segway, obviously. It's the smoothness of the Apollo region. It's the real magic. The design, oh man, the LED on the Go and the Pro are awesome. I had to DIY my City Pro 2024.
Thank you.
Maybe that's what we should do. We should just switch to reactions.
Yeah, the Regen throttle is you can have the Go, similar scooter to the Go, like beautiful design, right, smoothly, but it's that Regen that gets everyone. So I'm glad that you enjoy it and you like our beautiful aesthetic of our scooters.
Yeah, and I think you just nailed exactly what we were saying before, right, about this whole integrated feeling.
Yes, absolutely.
From Justin. Hey, Justin, nice to see you. Someone on Reddit said that the Connect Plus module is going to be discontinued. Just wanted to see if it means we'll no longer be able to subscribe to it. So the answer, I think, is unclear as of right now. Yes, there's definitely some work being done behind the scenes to figure out how we can navigate support for Connect Plus best. Justin, rest assured, we're not going to make any changes immediately that might affect our current customers. I think we're simply re-evaluating the future of Connect Plus in light of new technologies like Apple Find My. So that's something that's being worked on behind the scenes. For example, for next year, just had a big discussion with the controller factory in China. So we're discussing it more so in light of, does it make sense to put a chip that has to plug into the scooter in every single model, or does it just make sense to integrate it with an existing technology like Find My, which soon is expected to be available for Android as well. So for now, rest assured, no changes are happening. But if anything does change in the coming weeks or months, we'll be communicating by email.
Yes. There's a question from Sam Gashpin. Could you please explain the Pro 2024 swing arm bolt upgrade purpose? There is, as far as I know, there's no upgrade for the swing arm on the Pro. There's no upgrade on the swing arm for the Pro. So maybe Sam, you can let us know in the comment what you mean exactly by that. Maybe it's not the swing arm.
Is it the folding one?
Yeah, maybe the folding mechanism. It's we always figure out ways to do it stronger. The folding, So we have a rig in China. We put it on the rig and we see if there's any weakness. And every 3 months we figure out something that we can do better and better. Better materials, better geometry, extra safety added that we're working on now. So it's just when we have one that we know for the Pro, your stem is so long, the lever effect is so strong, the two motors, you put so much pressure on it, and customers are heavier as well, that we just keep sending them out when we have a new one available. That's for the folding. For the swing arm, there's no update on the swing arm. It's pretty good.
Yeah, let us know if that's what you meant, just to be clear. 250 miles on my Go just after 2 weeks of ownership. That's serious mileage, Trixologist. If you ride that much regularly, you should consider joining the early access program, because we're always looking for people who can put serious miles on their scooters.
There's a
Austin,
question.
nice to see you.
The batch too. Are we able to ask about the beta? Yes, we can ask any question about the beta.
Yeah. The official name is early access, but between us friends, we can call it beta. Austin, unfortunately, my Go met an unfortunate fate, car accident. Don't know if it's salvageable. Can I send it back to Apollo for full repair? So first of all, sorry to hear that. Hope you're all right and you left with no issues. Definitely send us an email and we'll see what we can do.
Question from Lawrence. What do you think of the EasyBike G16? This is a kind of scooter bike-ish with big wheels at the front and small at the back. I don't know. I saw that there's a review that just came out. I need to look at it. I find it interesting, those kind of vehicles, because you get the comfort of big wheels, but it's still compact-ish. Well, it's interesting.
All right. So here's another interesting comment. Are you guys coming out with a model that goes up to 33 to 35 miles per hour and has the most of the lighting features of the Pro at the weight of the City or lighter?
What is that? Miles per hour and kilometers an hour? What is that? 56? The weight of the city is competitive. Huh? 67 for dual motor scooter. It's pretty good. And there's direct comparison, right? When we look at let's say the new Voro, it's a single motor that's 76 pounds, so bigger battery. But yeah, there's something in the work. There's something in the work that would meet your criteria, I think. To leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I'm going to jump through all the comments and really focus on the questions here, just in the interest of time. So from Sam, with newer style batteries in Pro, have there been any cases of fire reported while charging or static? Not to our knowledge. Again, the main emphasis, not just with the Pro, but with other scooters, has been high quality batteries. And, we always struggle with this because we feel like a lot of customers don't really pay attention to what batteries go in scooters, and we pay a lot of attention to what kind of batteries go in scooters. I mean, you remember when we went to China a few times ago, we actually went to see the battery pack factory, right? And you kind of see the amount of, I suppose, technology that goes into making a battery pack. It's more complicated than a lot of people realize. And so therefore a lot of effort and care goes into making sure we use the highest quality cells. So yeah, no fires with the Pro, and honestly, we expect that to continue. We really have no concerns about battery safety.
Yeah, all our 21700 cell are really top of the line. And there's one thing that is important, that across a different scooter brand, the fires usually happen when you leave a scooter for like 2 years being dead, and then you decide to charge it with, let's say, a fast charger, or the opposite. You leave it like fully charged for 2 years. You should not leave a battery just sitting for 2 years. That's like the worst thing you can do. So the minimum amount of maintenance, looking at it, and if you store it for a long time, leaving it at 80%. And don't go plug on a 5A charger on it if you haven't charged it in 2 or 3 years. That's the worst thing to do. You need the slowest amount of charge possible. That would be my tips and tricks to make sure that everything is safe.
Yeah, and Alwal, can you remind me what is happening with the charger that lets you lower the voltage that you're charging up to? So it's kind of answering that question of, can I charge my scooter to 80%?
Yeah, so we have it in the warehouse. It's good. Basically, everything works perfectly for the Pro, and you can change the voltage to a maximum of 58.8, which is the Pro, but you can put it as low as 30 volts. So this was like something I don't want. I want to be between 42 and 58. Like if it's for the Pro, you shouldn't be able to charge like your city or Air with it. So we need to change that. And the other thing is the knob. They don't have any. It's like cheap stickers on it, and I want a nice knob that's going to click in place for the different voltage. So that's what we're waiting on the second prototype. But the first prototype works really well. It's sweet. It's between 1 amp, 0.5 amp to 5 amp. So it's coming. We found the supply.
That's good news for everyone here. Cool. There's a question from Edmund. When will the seat be ready?
There's as some of you saw, there's a lot of our accessories that are being delayed. There's Go fast chargers. There's the mirrors that are an absolute pain to do. Surprisingly, we do crazy scooters, but it takes taking us more time to do mirrors. It's just we have so many projects going on right now that some of these had to take like a side burner, I think you say. And we really focus on the scooter first. It's not to say that we don't want to do it. We really want to do it, but there's a lot of movement internally and with like the new projects that it's just hard to do everything at the same time. Like we have our limit, our supplier has our limit, our factory has their limit. So it's still in the plan, and we have the 3D file. Everything is done, but to do this whole process of like getting a sample, confirming it, doing the bugs, doing the manual, doing the marketing assets, it's so much time. And it's because of those little things that, for example, the mirror is being delayed now. We're still going to continue to add all the screw holes necessary to mount the seat on our scooters, but the seat will need to wait a bit longer. But I was the first one to ride the seat and absolutely love it, so it's going to come. We just need more time, and at least it's going to be retro compatible on the 75 and 90% of our model. Yeah.
Thank you. Cool. Question from Shane. I'm about to hit 1,700 miles on my Pro. My only real feature request would be to get a tamper notification if I have it in park mode to get an app message that the alarm went off.
Yeah, so this is definitely possible with the Apollo Pro with the IoT. Like Maciek was saying, I think right now our energy is better focused on a new type of technology that you can imagine that is a lot easier than the IoT and cheaper as well for you, the customers. So right now we're focusing on this that you should. It's going to be a similar feature at the end that you're going to have access to. But to be honest, we're really focusing on that now, and it's going to be released soon. So I don't think this is going to be available for the Pro. If we do spend more time on the IoT, though, that's going to be the first feature we do because it's pretty straightforward. But for now, yeah, to be honest, we're focusing on something that will answer your need, but just so much easier to manage internally and also cheaper for you, the customer.
Mm-hmm. All right, there's some questions about scooter choices. So I think D is asking about the early access program. So he signed up for A11 with a 52-volt 30Ah battery with higher speed, but he has a City Pro 2024. So he's sort of asking, should I stay with the A11 or should I keep riding my City Pro, if I understand correctly?
I got the email and I signed up for having a City Pro. Should I stay with A11 instead of the L9G? It's two different scooters, right? Like if you want to stay in the format, at the end of the day, it depends what you're interested in testing. One of them is more comparable to like a high-end Phantom, and the other one is really more comparable to the City. L9G Pro 2025 is going to be the next iteration of the City. We improved the performance, but at the end of the day, it's a complete different beast, and size and weight and price, obviously, as you saw in that email probably. So if you're a City fan, I would say, yeah, go with the L9G Pro 2025. It's going to be insane, that scooter, but just like the A11 too, So are you ready to jump into the bigger scooter? They're both solid choice, and they both share the exact same technology. So it's really about the format of the scooter that you're looking for. Top speed will be similar too as well.
My question from Austin here. Yeah, go ahead.
From us, my replacement Pro charger came in. It gets very, very hot. Is that normal? Much hotter than my fast charger City Pro. Yeah, it's normal because you calculate a charger in amounts of watts that it's pushing. 58.8 watts at 5 amp is 250 watts, 270 watts, compared to 54, I believe, at 4 amps for the City, which is much less watts. So yeah, it's normal. If you see it's burning a hole, in your thing, maybe don't use it, but they always get hot. Mine that I have here in my basement is also extremely hot, but that's why we made it in metal with the heat sink on it. So yes, it's normal. They do get pretty hot. I think maybe something interesting for us to explore would be to have fan built in. But again, our charger have all the certification possible, so I'm really not worried about that.
Is the Apollo Go fast charger not going to happen? It doesn't show on the site. I pre-ordered one. So the charger is going to happen, right? I think as you should have received in the email, it will happen. It's just going to be another delay. So for the time being, what we're recommending is that everybody who has a charger on pre-order, you either can trade it in for a credit to use on other accessories, maybe a regular charger or some other good. And then the alternative is just getting a refund and kind of sitting tight until we eventually announce when the fast charger is available. That said, I think last we spoke, it's going to be 2025, right? Like the 2025 season that we're looking at making the fast charger for the Go available.
Yeah. It's going to be, so if I was you, I would change it for another accessory. And if you still want it by 2025, just reorder it. Because yeah, it's going to be 2025. It's not because it takes so much time to do a fast charger. There's technical reason behind it. So yeah, it's going to be 2025. Sorry about
that. Cool. Just a follow up from Sam here, and I know we're just on time here. So Sam says the swing arm folding mechanism was. So I guess the folding mech was the topic. So I think we answered that question. Cool. Mixologist, what page should I post the URL of my YouTube channel once I upload a full Right on My Apollo Go? Maybe the Facebook group would be a good place for it. If that's where you feel comfortable sharing it. Well, we always keep an eye out for it, so we'll probably see it there. From D, is the A11 early access still on schedule for September?
Yes. Which we're still pretty much on track. Like internally we had about a 10-day delay on this, but it's not much. So yeah, it's still on track for September. It's everything is going pretty well. Right now we're opening the mold, and when the mold are complete, then we do the first. Well, we're gonna do some pre-production, then we do the beta, and this is leading us to end of August. So it means that for you, it's gonna be around September.
Cool. All right. Last couple of questions here. When will the video from the factory showing these models debut? I'm excited to see them in a while. The first video we have coming down will probably be the A11. So stay tuned. We're going to sort of start the official announcements in the coming weeks. And then the factory videos, as well as the V1 walkthrough, V2 walkthrough, all that will kind of be a part of that campaign as well. So in the next couple of months. For everything else, like the A8 and whatnot, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer because we're still fairly early on, I would say, in the process. Cool. Any last questions on what you see here before we drop off?
There is a lot actually. I can stay on another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Questions. No problem.
Okay, lovely. Guys, I have to drop off. I do have another meeting 2 minutes ago, but lovely seeing everyone in the comments, and be nice to Elwang once I drop off. Bye.
Thank you much. All right. It's time to ask the hot topic question, guys. All right, let's go with so the first video, Chow Geologist, should be out tomorrow and onward. So interesting, excited to see it. I love those video review. We have from Nicolas Crevier. Beta program will be AUK in Canada with snow. The A8, absolutely not. The A8 is going to be a smaller scooter, smaller wheel. It's all about keeping the crazy Apollo things. So probably not. If it's I don't remember what I'm tracking for my dates, but yeah, it's going to be in the middle of winter here. So no. The betas, we're going to focus on like the sunny belt, right, in the US, where it's warm in the winter. Exciting. The A8, to me, for now, it's like, it's not powerful. It's more powerful than the similar scooter in that price range. But compared to the Pro, for example, it's like entry model, right? But it is my favorite with a new feature. It just looks very refined. It's beautiful. Chow Geologist answering a question. Yes, the park mode on my Go is extremely helpful as well. Give me a peace of mind leaving it inside a food court, knowing I can only activate it with my passcode protected app. Yes, I love that feature as well. And we have we released Apollo Lock. We had some challenge, went to China, fixed the issues, and the new one are going to be ready in like 2 weeks, maybe even less. So I think that's like the perfect combination. This lock plus the electric lock. And the other thing we're going to push to the app soon, it's a stolen mode. Anyway, there's a lot of technicalities in the backend happening for this, but you're going to be able to report your scooter stolen. So this means that if you report your scooter stolen, someone tried to connect to it, we're going to log the scooter, first of all. We're going to grab the location and try to grab other details, like if you create an account, its name, his email, and stuff of the thief, so you're going to be able to retrieve it. So with all of this, you're safe, I think, right? So that's going to be lovely. And to me, this is even better protection than a lock, because the person's going to need to connect to the app to unlock the scooter at one point, right? And if they don't have your passcode, we still going to be able to grab the location by reading the serial number. So it's going to be interesting. And like we were talking a bit earlier, we have new technologies coming, just bring it to another level in terms of thief protection. From the batch, perfect answer. As I thought, I will stay with A11. My main thing is LED. The main thing, I guess, is LED. They both have crazy LED, to be honest. The A11 a bit more though. The A11 It's a sun on two wheels, and it's very bright. From the RGB, when will your team be deciding as who is accepted into the early access program? I'm already a very happy beta protester. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I know it was not a walk in the park for everybody in the beta group of the pro. When will it be decided? It's a good question. We got a lot of applicants. To be honest, there's still some spot open in some of them. So if you applied and you qualified and you participated for the pro, I mean, you're pretty much in. So yeah, I saw Martin Brenner too in this chat. That's been testing everything for us for a long time. Martin, I'm officially announcing that you are part of the A11 and you're gonna get it with your requests that you asked us before. So congratulations. From Monster J. Is there any shop opening in Montreal? There is no Apollo shop opening in Montreal. The only thing Apollo in Montreal is going to be our office. We have a new office that we're moving in 15 days, mid-August. Super excited about that. We, again, decided to close down the rest of the operation in Montreal because we have great partners now that are able to fix our scooter, like repair and run and other shops. And for us, business-wise, it just makes a lot more sense to have those people specialize in this type of business to fix our scooter. And it's great because it's a big chain, right? They have people in Ontario. I think now they have BC, Montreal, and they just keep opening more and more and more. So that's what we're going with right now. And it's been working really well so far. So no more Apollo shop for now in Montreal. Or, yeah. Okay, one more question. Another question from the batch. One more question. L9G Pro. So this is the City. Okay, it's the City Pro. We call it L9G because that's we always have weird name like this with our partners in China. But City Pro. Okay, 2025. Is it the same time as A11 early access or later? Thanks for answering all the questions. To be honest, I don't know, just because we have so many prototypes going on at the same time. But no, A11 is going to be sooner for sure. The A11 is the first early access beta group we're going to do. It's the first videos that are going to drop and everything. You know, we already have 2 prototypes here, and now we're making the mold units, like I was explaining. So A11 for sure the first one, and so far the V1 and V2 are still riding beautifully. So that's very exciting. No problem. Okay. Other question from Keith Lowe. Éloi, with the new regulation in Quebec about scooters, do you have more info about it concerning the ban without license plate? You know, this is not touching the scooters because scooters are within the pilot project in Quebec, which I forget for how long, but I think it's another like 2 years. So we're good. I'm personally pissed about this because I just imported a moped from China and I was having a blast with my girlfriend riding everywhere. And it's impossible to get a plate for this, right? It's all in Chinese. And so I just received it and it got banned the same week. So it's sad. But for scooters, we're good. And it's not very clear how it's explained as well, because it say if the vehicle is homologued, I don't know what it is in English, but you're fine. But it's not clear what this means. Does it mean you need a plate, or it means that it just need to be compliant with the street regulation? It's weird. And you know, in Quebec, so they just announced this, that, you know, people riding with fake motorcycle with pedals on bicycle path, now they're banned, which is fair. It's like it can be kind of sketch, but so all the surround, all the Talaria, you know, everything is banned, but they added so many things in there. If you have an e-bike that you cannot adjust the seat height, it's banned. So some projects that I'm working on, they're banned now. Super 73, it's all banned. So all these kind of bikes are banned, which makes absolutely zero sense. I don't know why that would be a criteria. And furthermore, all the 3-wheel or 4-wheel senior vehicle, you know, like the old people, they're on their here. You see more of this in scooters, like old people and those things, also all banned. So I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. None of this makes sense. And these people need this to like go to the grocery store, you know, or just get outside. So yeah, it's outrageous. It's outrageous. But to answer your question, no, scooters, they should be good. And we have police buying your scooters. So, and you see the police right now of the Ville de Montréal being on GoTrack scooters. So I guess it's fine. What are the ball from Austin? What are the ballpark specs of the A11? The ballpark spec, what can I say? The A11 will be no, I don't know. It's gonna go fast for a long time. I can say that. It's gonna be not heavy compared to its competitor. When you look at like the Segway G2, for example, which would be one of the competitor at 120 pounds, I think. This is way lighter, by 30% roughly, just like the Pro, right? The Pro was 100 pounds. Suspension improved compared to our latest release. Different configuration available as well. It's not just going to be one scooter. What does it mean? I don't know. Design 10 out of 10. Beautiful. Follow the aesthetic of our latest release. The LED that all of you love so much also improved, way brighter. And on all our models from now on, it's going to be only white. You can no longer customize the color of the deck. I know a lot of people like this, but there's to control those colors, you need another computer inside the scooter. And we use COB light, which is just way more powerful than LED light. And this box, this little computer, gets extremely hot. And the only place we can put it is on top of the controller, which is not ideal. It's adding cost on the BOM, the bill of material. It's adding heat inside the scooter. And more importantly, there is some challenge with the app about like the color shading that you can choose. So we decided to go with pure white, but bright as fuck. It's going to be blinding how bright it is. You can turn it off now directly by the control on the scooter. No longer need to go in the app. But yeah, it's going to be white for now, at least. So that's what I can say about the A11. A great product, more torque than everything we released before. Higher top speed too. Nice kickstand. I know for the Pro, some people were complaining about the kickstand when you put it on an uneven ground. The kickstand now is it's very nice. We have a new type of display, improved. New technology inside the display as well. Like we jam packed so many things in there. It's going to be great. Better waterproofing as well than everything we released before. Yeah. For now, that's what I can say. It's releasing soon. Everything you're gonna see everything. I want to keep the surprise. Any news from GB Inspired? Any news on the trade-in program and how will it work? I have zero update on that, so I don't know. It is challenging to do these things as a business-wise, operation-wise. Getting rid of those scooters as well is surprisingly the most challenging part. And yeah, so I don't know. I'm sorry. Next week, I'm sure we're going to have more people in this podcast that will be able to give you an update. As right now, I don't know. From a Pringle, lovely. Is the new plan to remove the blinking tail light from walking mode? Thanks for another stream. You're welcome. The blinking light from walking mode was removed early 2024 in the productions. Everything else before still have it. There's two things for this. The first one, try to change the speed of your first gear. This, in theory, cancel the walking mode, and you should stop it. And the other thing that I've been promising that was going to be out in May of 2024 that is still not out is to be able to update the display of your scooter. So for everybody prior 2024, you can have the cruise control by keeping your the left turning signal press, cruise control kick in, lovely feature, and the infinite turning signal. We are testing it right now in the beta of the app. So this is coming. So worst case, to answer your question, Pringle, you're going to be able to update the display of your scooter, and that should work. From FM, just got a new Apollo Pro shipped to BC. It under a week. Super hyped to ride it. Please go ride it and let us know what you think. I see here you're a drone fan as well. Our controller supplier is the top manufacturers for controller of drone as well, the best one in the world. So I'm sure you're going to see some similarities in smoothness and how exhilarating it is. So let us know. Okay, then we have GB Inspired again. Will there be an Apollo shop in Toronto or Ontario? Same thing as Montreal. The same partner, Repair and Run, is there. They're going to take care of everything for us. And we are working always, we have a whole team at Apollo dedicated in growing this network. We want a repair center in every city. So there is going to be one everywhere soon. Right now, we are at, I don't know, 40, 50, we could be at 100. Honestly, I don't remember. But it's growing fast, and so far the feedback we're getting is fantastic. I think we need to still improve, getting spare parts available for all of you and upgrades, and also when we announce new upgrades to make sure we're gonna get them, like the fast charge of the Go. But once we have this figured out on our side, after that, just feeding all those shops with the part necessary so you can get the repair in a timely manner is gonna be a lovely experience for everyone, I think. Okay, can you make sure I get in for the A11 too? Yeah, just write your email here, please. Chalgeologist. Actually, the price and tariff effect on the Apollo scooter will take place on my very birthday this month. Glad I won't have ruined birthday by buying my Go on the 4th of July. Yeah, this is not nice, huh? There's a tariffication of 25% for everything in the U.S. Electric scooters, and 100% on electric cars, as some of you saw. This is a disaster, huh? And if Trump is elected, it's 60%, right? Not going political here. I'm just saying. So it's a challenge for the business. For every business, it's a challenge. And we see now even like Segway, everybody started raising the price. And if they didn't, they're probably not paying tax. So it's not ideal, And this coupled with what Keith was talking about, the regulation here, you're wondering, what are they thinking? Isn't it the goal to remove car from the street and get to place quicker? And I don't understand what's the logic. So it's annoying me so much. But yeah, we have to deal with it for now. So little price increase, but it's almost nothing. So it's we still eat the bigger cost internally to not have a crazy price rising. Okay, from Jay. I know Matthew is in the back end here selecting all the question that you see pop up managing the show. So I'm sorry, Matthew, if you had another meeting. I'm just going on. But just write to me on Slack if you need to drop. From Jason Dowling. Now that Apollo has established itself as a leader in luxury and stable ride scooter, I like to think so myself. I'm curious about what's next. Are there plans? Okay, thank you, Matthew. Are there a plan to push the boundaries of performance and speed? Well, I think for scooters, after the 2025 release, we're going to be like, there's nothing more we can add. Everything you can imagine is going to be there in my mind. Speed-wise, we always said that speed is really not what we are chasing here. And there's already so much liability with low-speed scooter. I don't want to do 100 kilometers an hour. But I can say that. We will be releasing the fastest scooter we ever released in 2025. And the quickest acceleration on 2 of them. So I guess that answers your question a little bit. But to do what's next, right? What is your question? What's next? We designed a different vehicle. Two that comes to mind that are different to scooters. I'll let you imagine one of them. The other one's going to be a bit harder to figure out. Surprising, I think. Top of the line. They're beautiful. Price-wise makes sense. Design-wise, chef kiss. One of them we're proceeding with, so you'll be seeing it. I don't know when. Usually you see things a couple months later. One of them I added here. I've been writing it a lot, and the other one is it would be weird for me to write it. Let's just keep it at that. So yeah, we are exploring other things, and we have such a strong community with all of you that can test our scooters and confirm that there's actually a market for that. And what we have for the app and what we have for controllers and our throttle and display and all the knowledge in our factory, right? We have a whole factory that it would be fairly easy for us to take what we did for scooter and repeat it. So yeah, to answer your question, we are exploring other stuff that are really cool, really cool. There's still some work to do on scooters, so like the A8 is a good example of that. From Deep Batch, love your scooter. Thanks again for the info today. Hope I am able to add valuable feedback. I'm sure you will. Doing a review this weekend on my channel, the Apollo CA 2024 rode through downtown Toronto. Well, looking forward to it. Every day I'm going to Google and YouTube, putting Apollo scooter, search by time, looking at the last 24 hours. So I'm sure I'm going to see it. From Martin Brenner, the man, the legend. Motor, scooter, gas, etc. are being used for crime in cities in the US. I see a lot of regulation going to happen in US metro area. Yeah, I guess, I would imagine that bad people ride gas moped. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. None of this makes sense. I'm never going to agree to any of this. And I understand that you cannot ride a motorcycle on the bicycle path, right? That makes sense. There's people doing bike, walking, there's old people. Here we have like goose, right? Always walking. But at least let us go in the street, And what is shocking is when you go to China or honestly anywhere else in the world, people are getting around everywhere with moped, and it's a mess. Nobody respect the stop or whatever, but it still works. In China, it's undescribable the amount of moped you see there. So I don't understand why here we think that people, are too dumb, to do this. And it's like the same thing in Montreal. It's the only place in North America you cannot turn right on a red light because they think it's we must be too uncivilized, to turn right on a red light. So it just doesn't make any sense, all of this. And yeah, I'm gonna stop about this regulation. As you can see, I'm sensitive. From Chow Geologist, I would prefer vehicle grade and reliability to be pushed further, like IPX7 rating or more robustly built bearings and suspension, so they are less maintenance intensive. So what do we have here? IPX7, possible, doable. I know how I would do it. Honestly, I would just need to spend time on it, and the IP66 is good, I think, for now. But IPX7, we can do it. I have no doubt with that. More robustly built bearings. Honestly, the bearings we use, top of the line. The problem with what we experience on the bearing of the air and the city is not that the bearings are bad. The bearings we use are the best one in scooters. The only better one than this is the one on the Pro that are the Japanese bearing that you use for a hub of a car. But the one in the city and air and go, fantastic. The problem is the machining tolerance that we have with our frames that is now fixed. When I went to China, that's what we took care of. That's a problem. So I think better. We need better incoming QC. When you get parts from your supplier, you need someone that you need a computer to have like AI camera. They have this now to analyze all the dimension and right away if it's right or wrong. And it's 1 millimeter, and that can happen that the bearing end up being loose. So it's more that than bad bearings. Suspension, DNM Taiwanese suspension used on everything. It's good, but I agree that how we built it, the rest of this, the geometry that goes with it, we can improve. Yes, I agree. We have from Zane, love my Apollo Go. Lovely. Thank you. Apollo Go so far has been the most reliable scoot we launched, and everybody's having a blast. It's incredible. So thank you to all of you. I appreciate it. IP66 rating is considered better than IPX7. Indeed. IPX7, which is just dust. Dust. I don't even know how it works, right? Because when you are at 7, I believe it's submersion. So what? You submerge it under the sand? I don't know. But yes, indeed. No, there's an easy way to fix all of this. Huh? You cast your body and you easy way. It's expensive, huh? But let's say if I have all the resource of Segway, for example, I would cast my body and I would cast a rubber inside, so you can do over molding, and then you just drop like another like part of the lid and silicone over that. Challenging for heating, but we have our dissipation system right on Apollo scooters. That's what I would do. But right now with the new models that we're gonna see, and even like for the Go, for example, waterproofing is excellent. Like we are far away from where we were before, so I think with what we're gonna be releasing, it's gonna be good enough. From the batch, wow, Ilwa, wow, you got me so excited for the A11 info. You just said, wow. Well, I'm glad that I'm getting you excited because this is a beast. Writing wise, it's my favorite. Design wise, the A8 is my favorite right now. Okay, from Jason, and we're just going up the chart. I said now we're podcast. Will Apollo be competing with other high-speed scooter in the market? I'm excited to see how the company continue to innovate and evolve. Can you share any insight or hints about future developments? Well, like I said, it's going to be the most powerful scooter that we're going to be releasing soon. Two of them have the highest acceleration we ever released. So there's that. To power this, we're going to need a new controller. So it's going to be a Mach 3 controller. Those one are already being tested. I have it here too downstairs. I have a very nice basement full of prototypes. And it's very powerful. So I think we're going to be competing in this. But in the past year, you see so many crazy scooters. There's scooters going like 100 miles an hour right now on YouTube. Electric Scooter Guy just reviewed one, the Chinese one. And no, I'm never going to do like the what is it, the one from Voro Motor, the Roadster, Roadster, I think. Yeah, Roadster. I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to do 84 volt like this. It's just not what we are looking for. But this one, the new one that we're going to release that's super powerful, is right in the, people with the Pro said, I wish it was a bit more powerful. Well, this is, you're going to change your tire too often with this because it's spinning, so that's a max we're going to do for now. And yet, the Mach 2 controller is already super powerful. So imagine the Mach 3. Crazy. Maybe I can say that first. No, I'll keep it. I'm not gonna say it now. From Austin, wow, A11 sounds incredible. So to recap, 90-ish pounds, bright white lights, 45 miles per hour ish. What is that? And I have my converter tool here. What is that? It's 45, 72. Yeah, 45 ish. New display, improved design, better waterproofing, sound like a sign up for early access. Yeah, all of this and more. Again, that display, there's two other big features I shoved in there that you're all gonna love. So that's gonna be great. So yeah, please sign up. Your feedback would be super valuable. Jason Dowling, A11 price point. We have Machek commenting in person, $2,400 USD, 52 volt, 27 AH. 21,700 cell. So yeah, that's the price we're looking at. So it's we're looking at, when you compare this for the Pro to the Pro, for example, 52 volt 30 AH, that's a lot more expensive than 2,400. That's a steal, like a no-brainer. So yeah, it's great. And this one, there's like upgrades are going to be available. We're going to keep it at that. Jason Dowling. It is, but like Elwa said, reliability coupled with luxury is the utmost aspect of Apollo scooters. So that's the thing I appreciate the most. Heck, make it IP67. That's better. To be honest, I'm sure we pass IP67. If I bring it to the lab and ask them to do it, like with the dust, maybe not the throttles though. I would need to check. But yeah, I know. That's internally, for the display, the body, I'm sure those new one pass it au la main. Okay, from Jason Dowling again, should I wait for the A11 or get the Apollo Pro? I think you should get the Pro, and when we release the A11, if you like it, you sell the Pro. It's selling at a crazy amount now, and the Pro, I said it before and I'm going to say it again, how we make the Pro, right, which is one cast, right, the whole thing, doesn't make any sense. Nobody would make this because it's just so expensive to do. It's outrageous. So, it's going to, I believe it is a piece of art and it's going to stay a piece of art. It's going to be like the DeLorean, the amount that we made of the Pro is going to be limited, which is going to bring up the value, obviously. So I would do that. I would get the Pro. I would sell it. Maybe you lose $500. I don't know. If you ride enough your scooter and record your ride, you can make this $500 with your Apollo amp. So I would do that. And if you want, sell it and change to the 11. Okay. Martin Brenner. I'm between getting the Bro, my beta, or 11. I'm between getting the final Bro from my beta. What? Getting the final Pro from my beta. Austin was in the beta, either getting the new Pro or the A11. That's like I just said. I just explained it. What is my take on this? I have a Pro, and I was having problem with condensation building up in the deck from Jason Dowling. No, I'm aware of this. I've seen it from customer service, probably from you, Jason. Yeah, it's not clear to me why this is happening. There are seals all around the thing. Like it's getting hot, but not this hot. Other scooters, as far as we know, we don't saw it. Maybe it's happening, but people don't open the deck, so they don't notice it. I think the best thing you can do is if you bring it and it's burning outside, and your controller is temperature is high, and you bring it directly at like 18 degrees Celsius in the AC. Maybe that's what's causing it. I don't know. I really don't know, and we're looking into it. That's what I can tell you. If it was mine, I would put big bags of silica in there and try this. I know it's not ideal, but condensation, I don't know. Almost 1 hour podcast, episode 60 for 60 minutes. Let's go. Phenomenal. Because of the government can't make money on registration and insurance and whatnot. Well, they could, if they tell me you can buy a plate for $100 per year and you're good to go, I would 100% do it. And there's some countries selling plates for a bicycle, right? Like you need like your little bicycle driver's license. So it's just annoying, this whole thing. We have from D-Batch again, Jason Dowling. Personally, I would take advantage of early access or at least or the latest and greatest from Apollo. You also save versus retail and you can add valuable feedback. Win-win if you ask me. True. Yeah, 100% true. Well, do we get any feedback? I need water. So when my iPhone is going to landscape mode. When is iPhone going to get landscape mode for Apollo app? I have it on my phone and the beta. Again, if you want all the latest feature, ask to join the beta of the app, and there's a new update every week or twice a week. It's going live. If it's not live now, it's going live this week. It should be live though. Consideration on adding Apple Find My. Well, I'll keep that. A later reveal. Apple Find My is complicated to add. Huh? It's not straightforward. As you can imagine, Apple, Apollo to Apple, they're like, who the fuck is that? So they don't put the top priority on us. Complicated to do, but doable. So it's definitely something we are exploring. Okay, even when I'm tired, I always ride my Go below 20% because I couldn't stop. Will you come out with? Question from Austin that is interesting. I'm curious to get all your takes on this. Will you come out with wheels holding block for transport in the back of a car for safer transport? So I guess what Austin is referring to, some like the original Apollo Light, there was like you can buy online carry wheel that you screw at the back of the deck to carry it like a suitcase, basically. Will we do this? Probably not on the bigger model, just because they are so high. And to put those wheels on the frame, well, first of all, I don't have any attachment point on the frame because it's so clean, right? It's one thing. It would be too high, right? You're going to need like the big wheels. But for transportation and putting it in the car, which I agree with you, right? My scooter is always swinging at the back of my car. It's crazy. I think we should look into making like the Apollo Go carry bag that we made that is also delayed for all the scooters. So at least you have something that's going to protect it against the scratch, and you can put it on your shoulder and carry it. So maybe something like this. A good tip though, for all of you who wants to load their scooter in the trunk, you should keep the the packaging of the scooter, and on the Pro, for example, you have a big foam, so you just put this in your trunk with the scooter on it, and it's going to keep it straight. And same thing for the Apollo Go, you can lean it down in the protection, so that's one solution. From photo by Ignacio Soltero, I wish my Go had 20 to 25% more battery life without the extra weight or loss in speed. I bet it's a tough, it's a very thin line to navigate between staying under 50 pounds, which is what we're aiming for, and having bigger battery. One thing we do collect in the back end here all the time is how much battery people are using in average, right? We have all the stats. What is the average temperature for each scooter? Average trip battery consumption. For the Apollo Go, the average distance is 5 kilometers. Shockingly small, but it's like this for all scooters. People do short commute with scooters, and the average battery consumption is 20%. So I understand that you would like a bigger battery. I think the Go is answering what it needs to answer, and we're going to be having new release that I think will answer your needs in the future. From the Raid, will it require a steering dampener? Which model? I don't know. One thing I can say is that this is something we would like to put for most of our model in the future. Yeah, we'll keep it as this. I'm trying to think about accessories in the prototyping stage now instead of coming out with it later, and it's delayed like we're having now. So yes, a steering dampener would be sweet. We tried even a custom one that maybe we can show later, and it was not good. So if we do one, it's going to be the classic one. For Chow Geologist, completely agree with the Apollo Go. You would like a 700 watt-hour battery. Right now we're at 540. It's doable. It's doable. How we make the Go, it's allowing us to extrude longer and put a bigger battery. From Vibe Gaming, I love the Go. I wish the Go would get more range. That's all. Okay, so maybe we do need a bigger battery. Well, Matthew was telling me we should wrap it up. He told me that 10 minutes ago. All right. Any last great question that I could answer? I in Toronto. I didn't see that blog. Mine. Is there anyone who has Apollo Pro in Toronto? From Edmund Norton, been putting 1,000 kilometers on his Apollo Pro in Toronto, and he's asking if everybody else has the scooter in Toronto. Edmund, there's a group, Apollo Toronto, I believe, on Facebook. That there's definitely a couple Pro in Toronto that you could reach out to them, and they always do group ride. That would be sweet. Okay. Austin specified that it's not little wheels that you want, it's block. I would say, again, the carry bag or the packaging is probably your best bet for now, because we would not, it's not in the plan of making it now. I use it between, I'm still waiting for the seat. How about the booster pack? No booster pack planned. I use, well, I think we made it, guys, 1 hour and 7 minutes. Thank you for joining. I hope that it answers most of your questions. A lot of exciting things to come. We recorded a bunch of video in China and here, walkthroughs, first prototype of everything we talked about today. So very excited about that, and I can't wait for you to show to show you all the big reveals we've done on the everything that is prepared by the marketing team. I'm sure you're all gonna love it. I'll see you next week as usual, and enjoy your weekend. Thank you.